Quý khán thính giả đang theo dõi chương trình Heart to Heart với KristineSa. Thưa quý vị, trong năm 2010, đài truyền hình MTV và chương trình thật là nổi tiếng mang tên America's Best Dance Crew đã tuyên bố một nhóm vũ công vô địch mới với một số thành viên người Việt. Đó là nhóm POREOTICS. Ngay bây giờ cho Kristine xin giới thiệu buổi phỏng vấn của mình với ca Nguyen của nhóm POREOTICS và người nhạc sĩ mà anh ấy đang cộng tác với hiện nay. Đó là nhạc sĩ Tony T. Nguyen.
Kính chào quý vị của đài SBTN.
Kính chào quý vị của đài SBTN. I walked away from my corporate job. I was moving up in the company. I found myself coming home at night and not enjoying my day. Always tired, working 6-7 days a week. And part-time, I was teaching a high school drum line, teaching music, and those hours I spent with the kids, I found it more rewarding, and it made me feel so much better inside. And so I took a leap of faith and I left that job and I went to teach at the high school. It's been amazing.
We all know you from POREOTICS. We know, love, and support you. And I want to ask you about that.
Well, first off, I just want to thank everyone for voting, because without the community, without the people voting, you know, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I just want to thank you guys and for whoever voted for us. And yeah, it was very surprising to see that, you know, all these Vietnamese people that usually, you know, I wouldn't expect it to happen for the support, but when it did happen, it was amazing, because usually how I would see my parents, like, they would tell me, oh, you should be doing something that would make you successful, you know, but then when I was actually on the show, you know, it kind of opened their eyes to see as to where dancing would bring me. And when they saw that, they immediately started supporting me and, you know, telling all their friends to vote and everything.
That's what happened. I got a call from my dad, you know. He said, do you know about this group? Có cái nhóm vũ công gì, Pori gì đó. I was like, Dad, really? Yeah, the POREOTICS, you know.
Well, after being on MTV, everything was pretty different. Like, as myself, as for my personality, it hasn't changed. I've remained the same because like, I didn't want to change just because I was on TV, you know. It doesn't matter. I mean, the only thing that's really changed is I treat my dancing as more of like a job now, because I'm actually getting paid to dance, and you know what, I can be successful in that way. So now, you know, my parents wouldn't have to worry about me as much. So that's also changed too. They respect me a lot more as a person. They treat me as an adult, as to how they used to treat me for like going out late or whatever. And you know, I showed them that, you know, staying out late to practice makes a big difference.
That's what you were doing? So you stayed out late to practice and become a better dancer?
Basically, because that's the only time I would have to dance, because I would be working my regular job, which, you know, yeah, I had a 9-to-5 job and all the typical stuff, school and everything, but then it took up most of my day, so I would have to dance at night, and my parents would be like, why are you staying out so late all the time? And now that I'm on the show, after all of that, now they see why I do what I do.
My dad raised me since I was a kid. My mom had left me when I was 6 months old, and now to this day, he's been there no matter what. You know, as a kid, you mess up. Even now, you know, you mess up, and I tend to mess up a lot and hurt my dad. And it's not like I go out of my way to go, I'm going to hurt my dad. You know, it's like the hardest thing to swallow. You know, when you see your dad, you know, disappointed. He himself is a poet, and so I know he understands how I feel about music and my passion for it. So he supports me. But however, the reality sets in. He wants me to be secure and make sure I'm okay with life. And so, you know, at first he's all, Tony, you gotta make sure you finish school, make sure that you become a doctor or a lawyer,
He's being a dad.
Yeah, he's being a dad, you know. I was like, but Dad, you know, I go, just one more semester, okay, of music. He goes, all right, one more semester. Then years pass. Okay, so you're really gonna do this? I'm like, yes. But it was only recently, like about 2 years ago, where I had a CD release party on my first album, where he attended, and it was the first time where he saw all my friends show up to the concert, watch me perform live, and in the middle of the concert, I asked him to come up, and before he came up to the stage, we met halfway and we hugged, and he cried, and I can't explain that feeling. It was just like, it's like finally he approved of what I've done, and he accepts, and he's proud. He told me in that hug, he goes, he was proud of me in that, and it was just the words that barely came out of his, because we were shaken up. You know, my dad and I are not very physical, like we barely hug, we just talk, that type of thing. But when we hug, it's kind of very personal, you know. So for that, I'd say a minute, it felt like a lifetime. You know, like it seemed like everything's just stopped, and it was just my dad and I. And yeah, it was just amazing to get his approval, you know, in music. And so now he understands why I spent so much time with music, because he's watching the progress. I recently got him on Facebook. It's really funny, and because my dad and I really don't talk on the phone a lot, but I want him to know what's going on, you know. And I'm constantly on Facebook, so every day he sees my posts, my pictures of food or my music stuff, and we talk, you know. He goes, I'm really proud of you. I see, he commented on my wall for the first time. He goes, he's all.
He used Facebook?
Yeah, he wrote my wall. He's all, something about like, I'm so proud of you, son. I see the success you're having, you know, with music, and I'm very proud of you. And I'm very lucky to have my dad witness it, and you know, I want him to see that I'm gonna be okay.
Well, the moment that I realized that they supported me was when they came to the first episode, you know, of the taping. Yeah, I saw them there. I was like, yes, you know, like
my parents are here.
Yeah, exactly. Because before we would always go perform, and I don't think that they've ever been to any of my shows, and so they never really got to see me dance with the group. Like they've seen me dance by myself at home and all that, but they never really seen what we actually do. So the moment that they sat down and they watched us dance for the first time on the show, I was just looking at their faces, and they were just smiling. They had this big smile on them, and I was like, yes, you know, I finally have, like, my parents come to a show for once, you know. And then after that, they just came to every show, and they started supporting me. So the show has really changed my relationship with my family, because now I understand that you know, they're proud of me now, because before I wouldn't really see that, but now that they always support me and everything, I see that now.
With Can, what happened was, through teaching high school, I met Can. He was one of my students. He joined drumline and played drums, and it was fun. I had a drum bugle corps, which he played trumpet for. He came in March. It's like a marching band, and he came out the first year and participated. And through that, on one of the tours, we were up north, and everyone's like relaxing, hanging out, and we see him with headphones on, and he's doing all these moves. He's all, and everyone's just kind of watching. It's like, what's Can doing, right? And we're like, at the time, everyone's all like, hey, that's pretty cool, but we were like, whatever, you know, because it was just like one of the guys, you know. And then who is, you know, known years later,
now he's POREOTICS.
Yeah. I think I just say, hey, you want to do a collaboration? I want to write music and we dance to it or something like that. And I think that's how it started, right?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't been into music as much until I started working with Tony. And since then, it's been inspiring for me. So I started making my own music recently too. So thank you, Tony, for that.
My hope for the future is that just not only for the community, but for everybody in the world, just people who question themselves about their passion, about their dreams, what they might have to sacrifice to do what they love, and the fears. I challenge myself to step out of the bubble, be nervous. It's okay to be nervous, and do it. Because I don't want to look back in life and go, should I, could I, would I, you know, that type of thing. Instead of going, I did it, I failed miserably, or I succeeded. I'd rather find out. And that's the main thing right now. My whole thing is, I'm going to do what I can. I don't care how young, how old I am, skinny, I'm fat. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever the you know, it is. I just want to do it because I need to know for myself. You know, people always looking out for us saying, hey, Tony, you shouldn't do that, or hey, you should do this. I still need to know for myself, and I'm hoping that I'm able to look back and with the people that have been around me and support me and make them proud and say, hey, we helped Tony get there, and I want to be able to go, hey, thank you so much for getting me here. I'm glad we got here together, you know, and so I want to be here for them.
One of my goals is to just inspire everyone that I come across. Not just in dancing, but in everything that they do. Like, whatever talents you have, you know, I just want people to know that, you know, if you have a talent or, you know, if you want to do something, just go for it, you know, because that's what when I first started out, I wasn't sure of where dancing was going to take me, but I was like, you know, this is fun and I enjoy it, and, you know, I have fun doing it, so I was like, why not, you know, just go for it. And you never know where it might take you, because for me, I was so surprised that, you know, that where I'm at today, like I would never have expected it. But if I had chosen to you know, not do it because I was afraid, because I wasn't good enough or whatever, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today. So there were times where I did feel like I sucked, I was horrible and everything, but it didn't stop me. I told myself to just not give up, and this is where it brought me. Yeah. And I just want to let everyone know that, you know, don't give up, because the moment that you stop, that's when, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. The more that you keep going, you know, that's the more you succeed in whatever you want to do.
Kính thưa quý vị, cho Kristine xin tặng chương trình hôm nay đến với tất cả các bạn mà đã, đang và vẫn tiếp tục theo đuổi những giấc mơ của mình. Và Kristine cũng xin kính chào tạm biệt quý vị thân thương của chương trình Heart to Heart.